Hi everyone. So before we get into the content for this week, I wanted to tell you a little bit about an R Markdown file or a .rmd file. And the pages this week that you see in eCampus, like the one that you see here, is actually built completely in R as an R Markdown file. And once I'm finished with the code and I compile the R Markdown file, I end up with what looks like a really nice web page or output report. And I wanted to show you a bit about how these work so that you can use them to save and organize your code and reproduce your code. So when you're in RStudio, you can open up an RMD file by going to File, Open File, and then you go to wherever the file is stored. So in this case, for the first part of Chapter 3, Methods to Visualize Categorical and Numerical Variables, I have the file here. I click Open, and all of the code is here. And I can run all of the code based on what I have available to me here. So in this sense, I've been able to save my code and reproduce it. And I've made all of these files available to you in eCampus. In fact, if we go back to eCampus, down here where it says R Markdown Files, these are those R Markdown files. So you can access and modify all of the code directly in RStudio yourself. So the one trick is that I have it set up to import the transit survey and growth value data sets here. This is a location that is on my computer, not a location on your computer. So you would need to import these data sets from a location on your computer. So it might be C:/user/your name/downloads and then the name of the data transit survey. Or you could import the data using the approach you've used before, File, Import Dataset, and just not use this chunk of code. But what I can do when I have my code neatly organized into an RMD file is I can use this knit function right here. And when I use this knit function, it will produce a nice, finished, complete web page of all of my code and my output, so I can go back and I can refer to it later. So RMD files are very handy and very helpful to use. And if you want to create your own new RMD file, you can go to File, New File, R Markdown. You don't want R Script or R Notebook. You want to go to R Markdown. Also note that you can do a text file, C++, Python, SQL, D3, but to do an RMD you want to go to R Markdown. You'll answer a few questions about the default output format. You can do a PDF and a Word file as well. Click OK, and then you've got some stuff here that you can delete, and then you can start entering your code. Any code that you want to run in an RMD file needs to be put into a chunk. And how we define a chunk is we use the tick mark. We do 3 ticks. And this is the tick on the button right below the escape button that also has the tilde or the squiggly line on it. And then we use our braces or our squiggly brackets and we type in the letter R. We type in the letter R because we're telling the R Markdown file what language, what computer language we want it to use for the code. And then the code I might want to run is summary faithful. Faithful is a data set in base R. And then I will close this chunk by using 3 more tick marks. And then I can click this play button here, and it will give me a summary of that faithful data set. So our Markdown files are a very handy way to work with and save code that you want to reuse. And I will start offering a few R Markdown files as we move forward in the class, so you're able to more interactively work with and modify code to suit your needs as you're learning the material and mastering your homework assignments. So I hope this tip helps you out just a little bit. Catch you next time.